What would you do if your friend fell out of your car while you were driving at full speed?
Here is Providence Drive, where Mia Kanu's body was found in the middle of the road. When police got here, there was no car and no explanation. Mia died from her injuries, and now police want to know who, if anyone, is responsible.
Y'all might think, wow, what an unfortunate accident. But who leaves their friend out to die and carries on without a call to 911?
She was in her car. Nobody went back for my daughter. She was left in the middle of the road. No one called 911.
And it gets worse. Before Mia left with these girls, her mom, Bianca, told her to take a photo of their license plate.
The night that the incident happened, my daughter sent me a picture of the girl's registration.
She was worried. Mia's new friend had all those red flags that have a parent worry about their kid's safety. But Mia was 23, and her mother could not allow her or disallow her to hang out with anyone. She could only advise her. Sadly, Mia saw the good in people. She trusted those around her and paid with her life for it. How did Mia really die that night? And did her evil friend get a reality check? Let's explore the tragic case of Mia Kanu. Mia Kanu was one of those people with a really infectious smile.
Work with animals.
She was born in Southfield, Michigan in January 2000, and she was raised to believe in herself. So if she loved animals, nature, and plushies when she was little, she loved them as an adult too. That adorable elephant in the background here is just a symbol of her undying passion for helping animals. But elephants were not necessarily her favorite, as her mom Bianca remembers.
She worked at a vet clinic, but her goal was large cats.
Mia was always smiling, joking, and sharing her everyday thoughts with her friends and loved ones.
Doing knotless braids on my hair for the first time by myself. So wish me luck, because we know how this can be.
Bianca described her daughter as having a big heart and seeing the good in everyone around her. Y'all, it's so heartbreaking when somebody preys on this quality. This is not a weakness. It's a precious kind of wisdom few young people have. After graduating from North Remington High School, Mia enrolled at Tennessee State University. It's a well-known HBCU, offering opportunities to African American students for a full century. And it's also a super good university, especially when it comes to food and animal sciences, which Mia was going for. Her major was pre-vet specializing in food and animal sciences, and Mia loved every second of it. At the same time, she also worked at the Richmond Animal Clinic and even had a part-time job at Journeys. She wanted to save as much money as she could so she could open her own vet clinic once she was out of college. Yep, this girl had ambitions. Her mom was looking at her go and could not believe what she had raised. She was so proud of herself. At the end of May 2023, Mia ended her college year and went back home to Michigan. She would spend the summer with her mom. She was her best friend, and her friends there, old and new. Speaking of new, Mia had a new friend group with a couple of girls. But Bianca really didn't like these girls, especially one. Kentia Monique Farn had been at Mia's place a few times, and every single time, Bianca looked at her with a raised eyebrow. There was something about her loud, entitled attitude that just did not sit well with Bianca. You know, no matter your age, when you come home and meet your friend's parents, you're supposed to be respectful. It's not even about being a child or an adult. It's about being in somebody's home. They welcomed you in, so you should show appreciation for it, right? Well, Bianca did not feel any sort of gratitude or even a hint of politeness from this girl. She was acting as if she owned that house, and the people inside it too. Bianca was not the type of worrying mom, or if she ever was, she was past that stage. Her daughter was 23, she was a vet, and on her way to own a successful business and help countless animals. She was doing the right thing, and Bianca trusted her. This is precisely what makes the following fact disturbing. When Mia announced she would be going out with Kentia and another friend, Bianca asked her to send her a photo of their registration.
The night that the incident happened, my daughter sent me a picture of the girl's registration.
Bianca must have had a real bad gut feeling about this lot if she asked this from her daughter. Again, she was not the type to always buzz her daughter when she was out, asking who she was with, or pestering her to come home early. Sometimes, a mother's instinct is really strong, and when it came to Kentia, Bianca was certain she was bad news. Mia kissed her mom goodbye on the evening of June 2nd, 2023. She would attend a house party with a group of friends, which included Kentia. Before sunrise on June 3rd, Bianca heard a few knocks on her door.
Police came and told me that she was found on, originally they told me it was on the side of the road. I'm learning that it was in the middle of the road.
Mia Kanu's lifeless body was found in the middle of Providence Drive in the first hours of June 3rd.
Here is Providence Drive, where Mia Kanu's body was found in the middle of the road. When police got here, there was no car and no explanation. Mia died from her injuries, and now police want to know who, if anyone, is responsible.
She was seen by someone who drove by. They quickly alerted authorities, and she was soon transported to the nearest hospital. She had a severe head injury, and she was put on life support. Bianca drove over as fast as she could.
She was beautiful laying there. No bruises, no anything, just perfect.
However, Mia never regained brain activity. Her family took the heart-wrenching decision to take her off life support and donate her organs. That's what Mia would have wanted, to help others, no matter what. Her kidneys went to a patient who needed them urgently. Her liver helped save a baby's life, and her tissues and muscles were donated to the gift of life. Southfield Deputy Police Chief Jeff Jagielski said, "It's our understanding that there was an argument between the driver and another individual in the parking lot of the apartment complex that they had left." Indeed, Southfield PD pursued this investigation, naming Mia's death a homicide. Just the fact that her friends left her to die in the middle of the road was bad enough. Now, they had to discover if Mia had been intentionally thrown out of the car, too. First, authorities uncovered CCTV footage from the area. They identified the car and its license plate, and they analyzed the footage as thoroughly as they could. Still, because of its low resolution and lack of daylight, it was hard to tell if Mia was thrown out or simply fell.
There's no evidence that suggests that Mia jumped out from the vehicle. What the evidence suggests is that Mia may be in the process of throwing up. There was vomit on the seal of the door, and there was vomit in the road. Alcohol was detected in Mia's blood, and the alcohol blood contact was a .21.
The detectives then traced the license plate to an owner and spoke to Kentia Fern and the other friend who was inside the car that night. They began building a timeline of events that night. They also made an arrest.
Kanu was found dying in the middle of Providence Drive in Southfield back in early June. This week, her own friend arrested and charged in connection with her death.
My daughter was God-fearing. She was beautiful inside and out.
The chief explained why Kentia was being detained.
You're in control of the vehicle, and someone exits your vehicle while the car is in motion, and you don't take the time to stop, render aid, and check on your friend. What kind of friend is that?
What's worse, Kentia did go to a law enforcement station that night, but she didn't say anything about Mia. Nope, she reported her phone stolen. That was her problem that night, that someone had taken her phone. The officers at the station reported that Kentia was heavily intoxicated. After interrogating Kentia for hours on end, detectives finally got the full story. As it turns out, the altercation that the chief reported was not between Kentia and Mia, but between Kentia and her boyfriend. They fought outside the house where they'd attended a party. In a drunken fit of rage, Kentia's boyfriend stole her phone and took off in his car, drunk. Kentia hopped in her own car, also drunk, and proceeded to follow him to get her phone back. But inside her car were Mia and another girl. Initially, Mia was asleep in the back seat. She'd had a few drinks herself and just wanted to go home. But the high-speed pursuit woke her up and made her feel sick. When she got up to throw up, Kentia helped her open the door. Whether she pushed her friend out or Mia lost her balance and fell is still unclear. It's not like Kentia will ever admit to throwing her friend out of a moving car. Whatever the case, seeing Mia fall and hit her head did not faze her. She just kept driving at full speed, cussing and cursing her boyfriend.
Drunk driving is not a joke. And this whole situation boils down to that.
By the fall of 2023, there were serious updates on Mia Kanu's case.
Nearly 4 months after the body of Mia Kanu was found on a roadway in Southfield, an arraignment took place Wednesday in connection to Mia's death.
This is the case of People versus Kentia Fern.
23-year-old Kentia Fern is charged with leaving the scene of an accident, resulting in death.
This charge is a felony.
Fern is also charged with operating a vehicle while intoxicated.
Bianca spoke to the media again after this update. She felt a little better. Her daughter was a little closer to getting the justice she deserved.
I think them apprehending her, I think possibly more facts will come out.
However, she doubled down on the most tragic part of the story.
We don't know what happened.
Not only did Mia lose her life in a brutal, senseless, sudden way, but her loved ones will never learn the full story. It all happened in the blink of an eye, and no one who was present inside that car would tell the full story if it meant they could go to jail for longer.
I miss my daughter. And I really wish that this didn't happen.
Kentia was held on a $3,000 bond and was denied any contact with Mia's family. After September 20th, 2023, there were no updates on her case. It's likely her trial is still pending. In any case, Kentia is facing up to 5 years in prison for this charge. But what if she pushed Mia out of her car that night? 5 years is small potatoes. Mia doesn't get another day. Y'all, it's even more sad that Mia Kanu is not a unique case. Time and time again, people who call themselves friends act in most evil ways.
I just want to say to the city of Atlanta, can you just please help me find my baby sister? And Alexis, we love you.
In just a few days in 2019, 21-year-old Alexis Crawford lost her best friend, was terrorized by her friend's boyfriend, and lost her life after she got blamed for something she didn't do. Alexis was a senior student at Clark Atlanta University in Georgia. She was on her way to become a criminologist. And just like in Mia's case, Alexis's family was confident she was going to go far. She had that strong ambition and spark in her eye that let people know she knew what she was doing. In the last days of October 2019, though, her family got worried. She lived apart from them, at her college campus, but she always stayed in touch. Now, she'd been AWOL for 2 days. So on November 1st, the Crawfords contacted authorities and reported their daughter missing. They also took to the media, pleading for the public to call with any relevant information.
Baby, I love you, baby. Just come home. Come home, baby. Just come home. I love you. Just come home. I'm not gonna leave until you get home.
To the city of Atlanta, can you just please help me find my baby sister? And Alexis, we love you. If you out there, you're looking at this, give us a call. We right here with you, okay?
Well, I just want to say this is like a very hard time for our family. And if Lexi, she's watching, I just want you to know you always been my role model. You're my strength, my aspirations in life.
A week later, Alexis's body was found wrapped in a trash bag, dumped in a park in DeKalb County. If her family was desperate before, imagine how they felt now. This made no sense either. She was a kind soul with lots of friends who loved peace. She was not the choleric type, nor did she have any enemies. So who on earth would do this to Alexis? First, the detectives searched her dorm room at Heritage Station. While the forensic team didn't find anything worthy of collecting, the detectives did find 2 people to talk to: Alexis's roommate, Jordan Jones, and her boyfriend, 27-year-old Barron Brantley. Barron didn't live with them, but he visited often. When the detectives spoke to the 2, they didn't have a rehearsed story. In fact, they told quite different stories, and this was a huge red flag. They were tense and in a rush to say something that made them look innocent. So the detectives interrogated them separately over and over again until their stories were as divergent as they could be. Both Jordan and Barron kept mentioning the same thing, though. a Halloween party gone wrong. That night, Barron visited Jordan and Alexis at their flat, and the three of them drank to an outrageous level. At one point, Barron and Alexis locked themselves into the bathroom, at least according to Jordan. That day, Jordan broke off her friendship with her supposed cheating friend. A few days later, she disappeared. Barron, on the other hand, claimed that he had drunk so much that he confused Alexis with Jordan. Somehow, he kept confusing her all the way into the bathroom. But just like Jordan, he claimed he didn't have anything to do with Alexis's disappearance. After several interrogations, however, the story got much darker. On October 26, 2019, Alexis, Jordan, and Barron gathered at the girls' dorm room for a small party. After several drinks, however, Barron started touching Alexis's arm and flirting with her. Alexis asked him what he was doing, and he said, "Oh, I thought you were Jordan." Y'all, I'm speechless. Minutes later, Alexis got up from the couch, excused herself, and went to the bathroom. Creepily enough, Barron followed. Sadly, the scenario is as dark as you think it is. Barron forced himself on Alexis, and the event was so traumatic for her that she blacked out. She woke up the next day, sober, and feeling like something was very wrong. This was not the sober kind of wrong, a headache and the like. This was the feeling that something awful had happened, and she wasn't able to say no. So Alexis ran to the nearest hospital and asked for an SA kit. Her hunches were right. Barron was nothing short of a monster. The detectives had a clear account of this event from the hospital staff, and that day, Alexis had also gone to a law enforcement station and reported the SA. So yeah, there was enough evidence against Barron. However, Jordan had a different version of events. Jordan said that when Barron locked himself in the bathroom with Alexis, she knocked on the door. At some point, Barron opened the door shirtless. Jordan asked him what was happening, and he said nothing. However, the following day, Alexis told Jordan about it. You see, Alexis trusted Jordan with her life. They had met during their freshman year, and they had been inseparable ever since. Alexis called her her bestie and invited her into her family home for all holidays, including her relatives' birthdays. Jordan was part of the Crawford family, or at least that's what the Crawfords thought. The same could not be said about Jordan's boyfriend, though. Even his Instagram account was named Bad News Barron. He portrayed himself as a bad boy, and he really wanted to convince people of it. However, when Alexis told Jordan what her boyfriend had done to her, Jordan chose to side with him. Not only did she not believe Alexis, but she accused her of cheating, y'all. Jordan broke off their friendship. Imagine going through something as traumatic as SA and losing your best friend in 24 hours. Alexis felt alone and afraid.
Tonight, we know now what led to her murder, allegedly at the hands of her own roommate and her roommate's boyfriend.
First, there was silence. Then, after 3 days of not talking to each other, Jordan and Alexis got into a fight. According to Barron, words soon turned to fists, and when it got physical, he joined in.
Documents released by Fulton County Superior Court begin to answer the question of how Clark Atlanta University student Alexis Crawford was killed.
By the end of the fight, both Jordan and Barron were suffocating Alexis with a trash bag.
Warrant for Brantley indicated he got involved in the fight and, according to police, choked the victim with his hands until she was deceased. The warrant for Jones's arrest says she smothered the victim with a black trash bag until Crawford stopped breathing.
To think Alexis thought of this woman as her best friend. She and her monster boyfriend treated her like literal trash. She was just an afterthought. Together, Barron and Jordan simply shoved Alexis's lifeless body inside the trash bag and drove her to Exchange Park in Decatur, Georgia. Rather than confronting the reality that her own boyfriend was a lying, cheating predator, Jordan preferred to side with him and remove the uncomfortable thought, Alexis. Nevertheless, Jordan would have to sit in the courtroom and listen to ample evidence that Alexis was, indeed, S.A.'d by Barron. She would have to confront the truth one way or another. Y'all, this is just like Mia's story. Alexis saw the good in people, and she trusted her friends above all else. Nowhere in her imagination was there a scenario where her best friend wouldn't trust her, let alone unalive her. It's simply heartbreaking that good people like Mia and Alexis get taken away by dishonest monsters.
The case has come to one of the saddest conclusions possible and has been absolutely heartbreaking.
On November 8th, Barron Brantley confessed to taking Alexis's life. The following day, Jordan was also arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Jordan and Barron's trials would be pretty straightforward, considering that both of them had confessed.
He admitted to choking Alexis, Miss Crawford. And while he was choking Miss Crawford, Jordan Jones put a plastic bag over her head.
However, Jordan couldn't tell the jury why exactly she chose to end her friend's life. Alexis's family will forever wonder what exactly happened that night. Now, if you've seen your fair share of true crime couples claiming to kill for love, you probably know how this goes on. As soon as they were charged, Jordan and Barron turned against each other. Suddenly, they were not in love anymore. Now, they were testifying against each other in the hope of a lighter sentence. This only goes to show how senseless and tragic Alexis's death was. During their trials, both Jordan and Barron tried to make it sound like they were forced into the conflict by the other one, and that they were not responsible for taking Alexis's life. Of course, they also denied the horrific SA that was confirmed through DNA.
Yeah, Jeff, Alexis Crawford had accused Barron Brantley of sexually assaulting her just 4 days before she was killed. His DNA was found in the rape kit, even though Jordan Jones, his girlfriend and Crawford's roommate, told Crawford's parents that it wasn't.
Something else was revealed during the trial. Shockingly, after Alexis went to the hospital that fateful morning, Jordan snuck her boyfriend back into the apartment. He hid in Jordan's room until the evening of October 30th, when they took Alexis's life. Not only did Alexis feel unsupported and scared for her life, but her attacker was right there in the same apartment with her, without her knowledge or consent. Both Barron and Jordan pleaded not guilty. What a surprise. Their trials are also yet to happen. It's a terrifying world, y'all. It makes no sense that kind souls like Alexis or Mia meet such gruesome fates at the hands of fake friends. It's a big quality to trust people and see the good in them. We shouldn't become jaded, bitter, or distrusting just because of a handful of monsters. But when you hear stories like these, can you learn to trust people again? Thanks for watching, y'all. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you know similar cases of fake friends doing the absolute worst? Let me know in the comments section. And before you leave, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. See you next time.